You want the real story, no fluff, no sugarcoating. You want to understand what it takes to climb to the top, to build an empire out of nothing but an idea and a relentless will. You want to know how Jensen Huang, the man behind NVIDIA, did it. And you want it laid out clear, direct, and with the kind of force that leaves no room for excuses. This isn't a bedtime story. This is a blueprint for battle. Understand this: success ain't handed out on a silver platter. It's forged in the fire of countless failures, suffocating pressure, and an unwavering commitment that most people wouldn't dream of. Jensen Huang didn't get lucky. He made his luck. He didn't just play the game. He changed the damn rules. Forget the polished boardroom persona you see today. Jensen Huang's journey didn't begin in a Silicon Valley mansion. It started with a family fleeing Vietnam, landing in America with little more than hope and a fierce determination to make something happen. That's your first lesson. Adversity ain't a roadblock, it's a launch pad. He cleaned bathrooms, waited tables, jobs that most would deem beneath them. But he wasn't looking for dignity in the task. He was building character, understanding the value of honest labor, and learning to hustle. Every single moment, every single struggle was a brick in the foundation of the titan he would become. He worked his way through Oregon State, then Stanford, absorbing knowledge, yes, but more importantly, sharpening his mind, honing his problem-solving skills. He wasn't just getting a degree, he was arming himself for war. He spent years in the trenches of the chip industry at LSY Logic and AMD. He learned the landscape, understood the players, saw the cracks in the system. Most people just follow the established paths. Huang saw the future and decided to build his own highway. It was 1993. Huang, along with Chris Malachowski and Curtis Priem, sat in a Denny's. Not some fancy venture capital office, but a diner. They had $40,000 in the bank and a wild idea: dedicated graphics processing units, GPUs. Back then, graphics were an afterthought, handled by general-purpose CPUs. Everyone else was chasing microprocessors for general computing. These three, they were talking about something different, something revolutionary. This is where your resolve gets tested. When you have a vision that's so far ahead, so unconventional, that no one else gets it, what do? Most people fold. They retreat to the safety of what's known. Huang? He doubled down. He knew, with an almost religious conviction, that visual computing was the future. This wasn't just about making pixels. It was about transforming how humans interacted with computers, how we processed information, how we experienced digital worlds. They started in a cramped office working inhumane hours. Sleep was a luxury. Doubt was a constant companion. Funding was tight. Competitors were bigger, richer, more entrenched. Every day was a fight for survival. This is the truth of entrepreneurship. It's not glamorous, it's a brutal, relentless grind. If you're not built for that kind of punishment, you're already out of the game. Their first chip, NV1, launched in 1995. It was ambitious, integrating 3D acceleration, 2D graphics, and audio. On paper, it was innovative. In reality, it missed the mark. It relied on a niche standard, quadric surfaces. When Microsoft pushed for polygons with DirectX, suddenly their innovative product was obsolete, and Microsoft's API became the industry standard. This wasn't a setback, it was a near-death experience. They had sunk everything into NV1. The company was on the brink of collapse. Investors were demanding answers, probably questioning their sanity. What do most people do when they face a failure of this magnitude? They quit. They pack it in. They find a safe job. But Huang? He didn't just learn from it. He internalized it. He faced the brutal truth. They had bet on the wrong horse. He made the agonizing decision to scrap everything they had built, to throw away years of work, and pivot. Fast. They burned through their remaining capital, pivoted entirely to direct and raced against the clock to develop the Riva 128. This wasn't just a pivot. It was a desperate, all-or-nothing scramble to survive, and they pulled it off. The Riva 128, launched in 1997, was a hit. It brought them back from the dead. Understand this lesson. Failure isn't the end. It's a brutal, necessary teacher. But you gotta listen to what it's telling you, and you gotta have the balls to change course, even when it feels like tearing your own skin off. Most people are too proud, too stubborn, or too scared to admit they were wrong. Huang wasn't. That's the difference. Now, NVIDIA's a titan in the tech world, leading the charge in AI and graphics processing. Jensen's net worth, over $100 billion. But he hasn't forgotten his roots. He's donated millions to education, including $50 million to Oregon State University and $30 million to Stanford. So what's the takeaway here? Life's gonna knock you down, betray you, and test you. But you have a choice. Stay down or rise up. Jensen chose to rise, to fight, to build. He turned his pain into power, his struggles into stepping stones. Now it's your turn. No more excuses, no more self-pity. Embrace the grind, face your demons, and build your legacy. Because if a kid scrubbing toilets in a reform school can become a tech mogul, what's stopping you?